Already, ready. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the stream. My name is Kevin Griffin, and it is my pleasure to be here with you today on this lovely Thursday morning on the East Coast. Today is May 28th, 2020, and so I just ran inside the house real fast to refill my water, and it started raining, like pouring rain. So what better perfect time to go live with you all. If you're out there in the chat, whether you're on Twitch, YouTube, or Periscope, I would love to hang out and just see how you're doing. This is what makes everything really fun, is just the one-on-one conversation. So if you're out there, say hi. So I was good today, and I went ahead and did all my sharing before jumping on the stream. My goal today is to try to wrap up another project I had going on. If you've been on the stream before, you know I have a podcast to YouTube tool I've been working on. And I actually made a lot of progress. So it's a combination of Logic apps, Azure Logic apps, Azure Functions, and some custom code all coming together. Basically, whenever we launch a new episode of our podcast, it automatically gets turned into a video and uploaded to YouTube, which is really awesome. So what I want to do today is try to actually pull that all together into a package that I can do some development against. And if I can get it working for me consistently, then I can start working out some of the SaaS options for it. Well, that's what we're going to do today. All right. A couple people out there watching, but chat's pretty quiet, so no big deal. If you jump in the chat, just say hi. And my wife's texting me, so. All right. And of course, as soon as I sit down, my wife starts texting me. All right. And you always respond to your wife or your significant other. It doesn't matter what's going on. Always respond. Alrighty. All right. Well, let's see how much I can get done today. So the first thing I want to do is actually open up a to-do list. Let me see where I am. So I have a README. Let me switch over to my screen. Cool. All right, a whole bunch of stuff happened. That works. So there is a new, let me see if there's a new extension available. Logic apps. Let's go install. Create a Logic Apps project. Yeah. Okay. Create project. So technically it's on any of those. So this is pretty new. I saw a preview of this a couple weeks ago, and I like where it's going. I don't think we're there yet. Yeah, I have all that. Let me Azure sign in. And then sign in with a different account, because I actually want to set this up under a different account altogether. So let's go ahead and make some adjustments. Personal accounts. Yep, you are now signed in. You can close this page. Okay. Well. Let me add new resource group, all that good stuff. And we Griff's YouTube to podcast tool. So I love my name for this. So it's Griff's YouTube to podcast, or Griff's YouTube podcast tool, gypped. Ha. All right, so I have that. No budget, none of that stuff. So here's what I want to do. Just create test. So logic app. Add build definition to project. I want to put it right there. No. I don't think that did what I wanted to do. So, all right. Source. Yeah, okay. Okay. I'm not sure where that came from, but let's go ahead and let's just go with it. Create logic app. Those are all wrong. That's not. Oh wait, yes they are. No, those are right. Haha. East US. Let's give it a name. So we'll call this gypped dot. I'm trying to remember what my options, what my things were. Process RSS. Hey, there we go. Now this is supposed to have a designer as well. Open in designer. Okay. Not ideal. So here's what I want to do. What do I want for lunch? We are ordering. Let me log into my other portal. I need to pull all these pieces together. Password. Of course you want to know the password. Why wouldn't you want to know the password? RSS to YouTube. So, all right. So I already have this existing Logic app and has not run in a while, but that's okay. I'm going to copy the schema from this because I think we can just copy all this mess, paste it in. It will upload. Yes, that's fine. Could not be is not valid and cannot be deserialized. Cannot find the member definition on the object of type flow template. Okay. Oh, so yeah, I have connections. And what I'm not sure about is how do you define the connections in this? So logic apps. Yeah, there's no concept of a connector in here. Oh, no, here we go. All right, so there's our three connectors. SQL, RSS, and yeah, let me move that over. All right, give file from username. I have a test database, that's right. Insert job. Okay. Alright, so this designer. Line 1, position 80. All right. Line 1, position 80. Oh, hold on. I see part of the problem. Oh, okay. So this doesn't know about... All right, so I might not be able to use this as is. This kind of wants all this other stuff. Scroll up. Let's take that part out. Undo. Does that work? Multiple errors. Forbidden, forbidden, forbidden. Ugh. Ugh. That's not good. All right, well, maybe I don't do it like this. Maybe I do it the easy way and just do it all by hand. All right, well, if I refresh, is there... All right. Let's go in here. SQL database. Create. Let's create a new SQL. Wow. Everything has to be lowercase. Yes, yes, I know. Okay. Okay. Let's create our new server. Yeah, we don't need that much processing power. We just want basic for testing. $5 a month. I don't need Elastic Pool. That's all fine. I don't want existing data. Yep, use that collation. Do not need advanced security. All right, $4.99. That's what I like to see. And let's wait a second. Okay, so this all needs to get deleted because that's not right. Actually, what I might have it do is see if it'll download. Where is... No. Okay. All right, I'm going to let that do its thing for a moment. Nope. Because I already had one open. Oops. All right. No big deal. Hey, my database is done. Cool. So I should have one database in there already. Yep, jip.sql. That's cool. All right, I'm going to copy some of these details over into my notes just so I have them for later. And now, what did I do before? Job status. This is the problem. You leave a project for so long that you lose track of what's going on. Okay, let's take care of. So I actually do want to build this database locally. I want to start doing syncing to the server. So let's go ahead and let's attach a new database. We'll say we'll call it Gypt SQL. Yeah, I like that name so much. You know, I'll just bring this over here. So Gypt SQL, we're actually going to generate 2 tables. We'll do this the easy way. Script create 2. Taking this time for some reason. Oh, it's because it's going to the remote database. That's why. Why is that taking so long? All right, so this we can actually just copy, and we'll move over to my new database. We'll paste it in there. 1. We want to create that one to a window as well. Alter table. Yep. Do all these in order. All right, so everything's created on our database. And what I'm going to do real fast is connect to the new database. Actually, I don't need to. Where's all the information? Oh, and I forgot to set up the server firewall, so it's going to fail on me. Save. There we go. Okay. Yep, I know. All right, now we have 3 databases all up and going. I'm going to go ahead and set this one up for source control. So link database to source control. Let's link to a source control system. That's not where it's going to go. It's actually going to go in here. We'll create a new folder, call it database. I use SQL Source Control for all my databases, and it's one of the few tools I would actually pay money for if I needed to. I get a license because I'm a Microsoft MVP. Redgate just gives them away to MVPs and different insiders. But this is definitely a tool I have paid money for contractors and other people who have worked with me, because it's a really good tool. You can come in here and basically take snapshots of your databases, and it creates these scripts in your source control, which is really nice for tracking changes. And so if you're jumping back and forth between different branches, you can basically sync the database to whatever the version of the database needs to be for that particular branch. Yeah, and this has been a great tool. I enjoy it a lot. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so that's good to go. So much project cleanup to do here. All right. So I don't even remember what my line of thought was. So podcast name, podcast title. All right. So let me outline my process here. So what's the workflow? The workflow is add a to podcasts table, which I don't have yet, so I need to create that. Reoccurringly checks podcasts table. For new items. All right, on new item, I need to download the MP3, turn MP3 into MKV. And that already exists. This is an Azure function. This is a logic app. Then we need to generate image. This is again an Azure function. These can technically both happen at the same time. And so once the, well, no. So I lied. Download the MP3 and generate the image. We could technically do those both at the same time. Not necessarily a big deal. Turn MP3 plus image into MKV. And this is another Azure function. Then we want to upload MKV to YouTube. This is another Azure function. Then probably send email or just in general notify user of new video. Okay. So I don't have a podcast table. That's what I want to do now. So we'll do that locally. So we'll create a new table. We'll give it just an integer ID. We'll make that a primary key. We'll say RSS feed, and this is going to be probably a big. I don't know, 255 characters. Is that long enough for a URL? You know what? Let's just make it. It can be longer. Not a big deal. Last checked, and this is going to be a date time. What was it? Date time offset 7 if you want it in local time. Yeah. All right. So that's all good. Let's go ahead and make this an identity because we don't really want to worry about our. You know what? We'll go ahead and add in here podcast name. boot that up. And also going to give it a stub. Basically, what's a way to identify this that's not the ID? Okay. I'm just going to add one in here for fun. So we'll add in 2 frugal dudes. 2 frugal dudes. My RSS feed, I don't know. It's somewhere. 2 frugal dudes / something. Subscribe. Yeah, / podcast. Okay, so we'll put that in as the feed. And last checked, we'll put 05. Let's just put yesterday. And that should be local time. Okay. And all right. So at podcast table. All right, that's already done. Then I want to reoccurringly check the podcast table for new items. Okay. Let's do a very quick sync between my local database and my dev database up in Azure. Again, I'm going to use another Redgate tool, but there's a bunch of ways you can do this. I'm supposed to be using a Redgate tool. There it goes. All right, so I'm basically syncing local to... Come on. Local to gypsql, and then there should be a database on here called gypsql. Yep. So we'll compare local database to production database. It's amazing how long this is taking. This is usually a pretty quick process. All right, there it goes. All right, so SQL Compare, what it does is it looks at all the schemas and says, oh, you don't have this schema, you don't have that schema. Let me fix stuff for you. So that's what I'm going to do now. So upload all these tables to my production database. And now I can come into Azure. Oops. Go into Gypt. We'll go ahead and create a new logic app. And this one's just going to be called check. So Gypt. Check RSS feeds. We'll make it East US again. It validates. Azure is taking its time today. I'm not sure why this stuff is so slow. Usually it's pretty quick. Dun, dun, dun. All right. Refresh. Refresh, refresh. There we go. Okay, so this one's going to be a recurrence. We'll check it we'll say every 5 minutes. All right. The text boxes won't let me text box. All right. There it goes. All right, so every 5 minutes, we want to actually go to SQL. And we're going to get rows. Ryan Quinn, could you run a DB trigger rather than polling? So in this case, it's not necessarily a trigger. This is going to be the thing that runs. So I'm not necessarily adding anything to the database. What it's going to do is it's going to periodically run through all the feeds that I have, and then it's just going to run separate tasks on them to update. So I don't necessarily know. There's nothing to trigger. All right, I need to add the database. Yeah, no gateway needed. Create. Oh, because I'm dumb and I forgot to turn on Azure services. All right, quick fix. Allow Azure services. There we go. And now create. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and use our podcast table. This should automatically pull all of our rows. And I don't want any filtering on that. I want it just as is. So then for each, actually want to execute. I'm going to want to execute another logic app. This is the part I haven't done before with logic apps. So let me go ahead and actually, here's what I can do first. I can go back in the SQL server. We can tell it to update a row. It's going to ask me which row to update. Podcasts. And we want to set the row ID. And I want to set last checked equal to UTC now. Yep. Okay. That's my placeholder. So if we just do a quick run on that, this should work. Oh, I didn't put any data in the database. Let me do a SQL data compare as well. Okay, so git gyp. Let's actually save this off as there we go. Compare projects, because now I can take this, and they used to have a fancy little button to just reopen it in a different tool, but it's not there anymore. Close. Oops. Let's cancel that. We open our new project, which is right there. Compare. Should be quick. And yeah, all we're doing is moving over podcast data. Yep. Deploy. All right, so this all ran because there was nothing in the database. But now there should be data in the database. Close all windows. So if we look at tables, select all. Yep. So our last checked has been updated to the most recent time. All right. That's cool. That's what we like to see. Now let's go ahead and take a step back. Where are we time-wise? All right. My wife gave me a ultimatum. So you need to be done by noon because it's lunchtime. All right, process RSS. This is going to be it. And now what I'd like to do here is we'll start with a blank. And so I'm going to get a request in. So actually, is there a thing in here for when a logic app? I want to see if there's a trigger from another logic app, because what would be nice is, all right, there's not. All right, so what's it called? Request. We'll get a request from another logic app. And we'll create a parameter. We'll call this RSS feed. Okay. Pass in a string. The default value must provide a default value. No value. Okay. Actual parameter. Add a parameter. Can I put in spaces? Will it let me do that? You know what? Let's just write these as null because I can do checks for nulls. Podcast name is again going to be another string. Actually, I don't even need to do that. Let's just pass in the RSS feed. Let's start there. All right. Because now what I want to look at, no, save. Is what if check RSS feeds calls into another Logic app? This is not something I've done before, so I'm not quite sure the workflow. So add an action to talk to a Logic app. So process RSS, manual. So yeah, this is what I'm not sure of. So I can pass in the RSS feed. Is equal to RSS feed. I don't need to pass in any headers. Save. Check. Enter valid JSON. Oh. Oops. Save. Okay. Now, let me back up into my resource group. We'll go into process RSS, edit. I don't like that trigger. I think there should be a better trigger. Maybe it's just manual. Like there's no. I guess that is, yeah. All right, and what we'll do is we'll create a job. No, because I didn't read the values. So let me just go ahead and do the RSS. RSS, list all RSS feed items, create an RSS connection. But, I can't do it. Oh, yes, I can. So this is going to be the RSS feed that comes in. Since... Oh, I should also pass in the last check date. All right, I can fix that later. For now, I just want to see if this works. Okay, so save. And if you run, it shouldn't do anything because you never set parameters. It should fail. At least I believe. Oh, yeah. No, because it has default parameters. Yeah. All right, so that will fail because it tried to pass in null. And it's going to say, hey, I don't know what null is. Okay, but... what if I come in here and say run? Hey, Clark.io. Thanks for the raid over on Twitch. Hey everyone, how you doing? I let the raid come in. Yeah. Oh man, so many good people. 25 viewers. Well, welcome everyone to my stream. Those who don't know me, my name's Kevin Griffin. I'm also one of the live coders, and it's nice to have you all. Hey, thanks for the follow, Real Life OG. So, Clark, how was your stream? Hope it went well. Work on anything interesting? So over here on my stream, we're currently working on I call it a podcast to YouTube tool. So I have a podcast I do on the side called Two Frugal Dudes. And one of the things I want to do is turn that content into YouTube videos, because you should always reuse all your content no matter what. And so I've been working on that tool, and I have all these bits and pieces that do separate things, and it's awesome. But I need to bring them all together, and that's what I've been working on now. And so yeah, you can kind of hang out with me for just a couple of minutes. I'm wrapping up right now, and I'm building out a Azure Logic app that's going to execute other Azure Logic apps. Let's see. This workflow does not contain a response action. All right, I can fix that. So, response. Azure. What's wrong with Azure? All right, doesn't have. All right, this is the first time I've done this in Logic Apps. Request response. Okay, we'll send back a 200. Okay, that's good. So save. No worries. So I do most of my work in Azure. I do a little bit of work in AWS, and we have a couple things running up on DigitalOcean. I think all in all, I just prefer working in Azure. But that's just me. So everyone's, to each their own. They all literally do the same thing. It's just pick your poison. All right, so that's the one that failed. Why did this one fail? I like DigitalOcean. I'll tell you what I really like about DigitalOcean is that I can just spin up a VM in a minute and go do the things that I need to do, and then just tear it down. And everything else, it feels like it's a 15-step process to build a VM and get the settings right and all that crap. All right, this is the one that failed. Okay, so let's come back over here. Let's rerun this. All right, so what we're testing now is something I haven't done before, is an Azure Logic App to Azure Logic App connection. Yeah, this is new for me. All right, that's taken 16. So refresh. It's running, so that's good. It's good that it's running. Okay, so it failed there. Why did it fail there? So imp output. Body. All right. 502. The server did not receive a response from an upstream server. So this is what I need to figure out. And I apologize to all you that are just coming in. I actually have a hard stop here in a moment. So I'll tell you the story. Yesterday was my wife's birthday. We didn't do a stream yesterday because we did a bunch of family stuff, us and the kids. And we were going to do a big dinner, and in the times of quarantine you can't go out to eat. So instead we were going to go just pick up something from one of her favorite restaurants and bring it home and do a big family dinner. Well, we just had a couple issues with timing and ended up just postponing that and rescheduling it for today. So I have to knock off here in the next minute and go pick up her lunch so we can have our family lunch together today. But, thank you all for hanging out with me. While I have you on the line, I'm actually speaking tonight online at the Louisville.net users group. So let me bring up the link for that while I have you. And I'm going to drop this into the chat for everyone that might be watching. So if you're interested in logic apps and Azure functions, I'm going to go into them a little bit deeper tonight at this user group. For friends over on Twitch, you can also go watch Tail Learn Code, because he's actually currently live right now as well. I think we're going to simulcast to his Twitch stream. And yeah, it's going to be a good time. But I think I'm going to send you all over to his channel anyway, because I need to go pick up my wife's lunch before she gets mad at me. What is he working on today? He is building the Codapalooza schedule. And I have spoken at Codapalooza. It is a great conference. I highly recommend it. And this year it's going to be live on the internet. I'm not sure all the logistics for it, but I'm probably in this list somewhere for the schedule. But I'm going to send you all over to Chad. Tell Chad I said hi. And I'm actually going to probably get back online a little bit later today. So if you're not following, hit the little heart up at the top, and you'll get notified whenever I go live. Or if you're over on YouTube, hit the subscribe button down at the bottom. And with that, friends, thanks everyone who came over from Clark.io's channel. I'm glad you're here, and hopefully you come back again. And all right, so let's do the raid. Send Chad my love. Take care.